Bill Maloogian, thank you very much. I want to bring in now Senator Marsha Blackburn in focus, Republican senator from Tennessee who sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee and visited the border earlier on in the crisis for a firsthand look. Senator, I want to get your firsthand thoughts about what Mayorkas may be faced with when he gets to Del Rio, Texas.
I think what he is going to meet, first of all, is some very concerned CBP agents who are there trying to keep order on the border. He's going to hear from them firsthand why they need to have those additional officers on the ground there, why they need additional support. He's also probably going to hear from some of the family members. And Harris, they're concerned about the disease, outbreaks of measles, COVID, other diseases that the Border Patrol are being exposed to as they try to handle this humanitarian crisis, this health crisis that is there at the border. And I hope what Mayorkas hears is that many of these people found out that they could head to the border through social media. And it's astounding that Facebook will not take these drug trafficking, human trafficking cartels off social media who continue to market to people in Haiti and other countries to say, come on, and you can come to the border. Joe Biden's got that border wide open.
Wow, to hear you say the word, the platform being used to market what we're seeing on screen.
Yes.
Not only does it talk about the power that that platform can generate and where it can put people,
yes,
but the danger that it can generate too. And I want to segue right to this. Let's stick with Facebook. Lawmakers in a bipartisan effort, I understand, are demanding that Facebook executives testify over a stunning Wall Street Journal report. So they have a lot of problems right now over there. Part of the Journal series on the social media giant showed the company knew from its own research that Instagram had devastating effects on teenage girls' self-esteem and body image, and Facebook tried to keep it under wraps. A top executive fired back, claiming this quote, "It contained deliberate mischaracterization of what we are trying to do and conferred egregiously false motives to Facebook's leadership and employees," end quote. Senator Blackburn, you are leading the charge on this. Tell us really what we're looking at Facebook right now with this.
What we're looking at are documents and data that have come to us from a Facebook whistleblower who has had it with what they are doing. Facebook is chasing the dollar. They know that this is harmful to teens, but they continue to do it. Harris, just like they know that these drug cartels, that what they are putting out there is harmful to our nation. Now, one thing we do know is that we are going to hear directly from this whistleblower in a committee hearing in a couple of weeks. And one of the things I want to know from them is how much data they do have on the research with teens, because teens themselves participated in this research study. They asked for changes at Facebook. We know that older teens are advising younger teens not to pay attention or get their information onto Instagram because it has led to an elevation in the rate of teen suicides, into eating disorders, and we have heard from pediatricians and from parents for quite a while, plenty of anecdotal evidence. Now we know Facebook had the research, but they chose to continue to encourage teens to be on that platform, to use that, to use WhatsApp, to use Messenger. And now older teens are saying, just don't go there.
Yeah, I hear you. And on the other point with the drug cartels, as you said, using that platform of Facebook to market in other parts of the world like Haiti to get people to come here, it makes you wonder who at Facebook is on our side as Americans, because that situation at the border is dangerous for everybody involved. And this situation is dangerous for our little ones, our teenagers, our young girls and boys. Senator Blackburn, always great to have you in focus. Thank you.
Good to be with you. Thank you.